Kathy Howland, and this is my story.
So if, when we start to talk about your story, it's hard to really talk about your story unless you go back a couple of years ago till Jim's death.
Okay.
You were married for a long time.
We were together for a long time, married for almost 20 years.
Okay. And Jim died of cancer,
He did die of cancer.
and that was pretty tough for you.
That was real tough. It was a 18-month battle of fighting, and I really think that he thought he was going to win it. So it was even more difficult, I think, because it really wasn't talked a lot about.
Yeah.
So.
And in the midst of your grief, you kind of came back to church in a way that you hadn't before. Is that
Exactly.
accurate?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Talk about that.
I after Jim died, I started coming back to church just a little bit, not, regularly. And then I kind of backed off because I think I went through an angry stage, and I get emotional with this.
It's okay.
Like I said, I got angry. I was like, Jim. I guess God took Jim because he was such a good person, and maybe God needed him more than I did. I don't know, but I was just really angry with him. And so I slowly came back, I think with a little pushing and a little coaxing from somebody. Then I started coming back, and I kind of just stayed in the background. I didn't interact with anybody. I just kind of stayed in the background for quite a while.
You're sitting on that back pew for a long time.
I was sitting on that back pew for a long time. Back pew and get you in and out.
And so from that back pew, what changed? I mean, what made you move off the back pew?
Well, first I kind of went down a little bit to the middle. One Sunday I came, and I have no idea why I went to the middle. I have no clue why I went to the middle. And that Sunday was just really different. I feel like I was saved. I've had my faults. I've had
Your sin?
my sin. I had a big sin. I did. And not that I still do, but I had a big sin. And that day, I was saved. I was saved. And I still look at it to this day as, wow, it's almost been 2 years. And so that, I think what made me come down even further is being involved with the life group. And we went through the Rooted series, and that even I struggled with because I don't read a lot. I used to read constantly, and I don't know what has triggered my brain, but since I lost Jim, I don't read at all, and I can't comprehend a lot for some reason. So I struggled with that, but there's parts of it that I really kind of focused on.
So talk about what it was like coming to Life Group and the Rooted series.
Coming to Life Group was, for me, scary because I don't interact with a lot of people. It was always Jim and I. Jim and I were just together. We did everything together, especially after he retired. And I'm very, very thankful for that. But so after he died, after I lost him, I was very much alone. And so coming to Life Group was scary for me. I didn't really know anybody but you, and but I kept coming back. I just kept coming back. And the more I came back, the better I felt. The better I felt. People were just so good to me, I think God pushed me, obviously. I mean, I don't know what pushed me. I wish that I had the faith that I have now, back when Jim was going through cancer.
Wow. How do you think things would be different?
I don't know if they'd be different. I don't know. I just feel like I might have accepted it better. I felt so lost when he was going through cancer. And I look back at it and I actually get mad at myself because I didn't pray enough. I don't feel like I prayed enough. Now I talk to God all the time. All the time. I mean, I don't know how to say it. I mean, if anything is coming up or anything, it doesn't even matter what it is. I talk to him all the time.
It's funny, the thing that I remember the most about doing Jim's service, his funeral service,
I heard.
was his devotional book. And
Yeah.
I forget the name of the book, but it was basically a book for Jesus Calling. Is that what it was?
Yes, it's Jesus
Yeah.
Calling, and he has all kinds of his own little notes in there.
Yeah, he had written
and-
so many things in response to Scripture and what he was facing with the cancer, and it really was an expression of his faith in a really cool way.
Sorry. Yes. Sorry.
You're okay.
Jim had a very, very strong faith. I mean, he was raised Catholic. He went to Catholic school. His dad was very, very strong in the Catholic faith, but yet very open. I can, remember going to Catholic church with him, and I think he went more just because he was supposed to go.
Yeah.
And then we started going to Rio, down in Rio Town, and I started going down there, and Jim was still working, and then I continued to go down there, and then we both went down after he retired. And he said going to church there was so different than going to the Catholic church. He
Yeah.
was actually, he would leave there, and the messages would just be, wow, So, but then after I lost him, I kind of went to the wayside with them. And
So
came here.
so you jumped back into life group, or you jumped into a life group.
I jumped
That was
into a life
scary.
group.
That was
Yep,
scary.
By your invitation, I did, yes.
And got involved in Rooted. And in Rooted, there were, I think, 7 different disciplines that help people grow. One of those disciplines was giving, and it really was a challenge to think about the way that you gave.
Was.
Talk about that and what happened with you in that.
Yeah, it was on giving, and I gave, but I didn't give consistently. And honestly, I gave very small. I'll be honest. But it wasn't consistent. And then in that study, I just thought about it a lot more. And like I said, I talked to God a lot about it, and I believe it was in the fall, and I was outside cleaning the lawn and just really struggling with, I really felt that I really wanted to raise my giving, but I had no clue. I had no clue what to raise it to. And I had a number in mind, and like I said, I was totally almost done cleaning my lawn, and I had a fire going in my pit, burning stuff, and it was totally almost down, where I felt like I could leave and be all right. And as I said, I was talking to God and asking him, what should I do? Should I stay where I'm at, and be comfortable, or should I go one more? And all of a sudden, it was like I turned around and my fire is just poof. And it was huge. And then it just poof, went down. And I was like, okay, maybe you're talking to me, God. Maybe, you're. So I did. I went one number higher, and
And
maybe a little bit more uncomfortable, but yet comfortable. It's not like I don't think about it anymore, really. I just.
So, the change in your giving, when you say you went up another number, that's kind of an understatement, right? I mean, like you increased your giving like 10 times.
I did. I did. Like, yeah.
And I remember you talking about it and saying how scary that was because you didn't know how that was going to work, right?
I didn't know how that was going to work. I'm still trying to get my financial life in order in a way because that was something I was not used to. Jim took care of everything. But I just, I went up a lot bigger. And after I did, I mean, it wasn't immediate. I don't know. I just know my life became different. My life became, it's like, I'm going to be okay, and and we all have a lot going on, but I have just things that I have going on, and I don't really have anybody really to talk to just on a day-to-day, except for God. I really don't. I mean, my close friends, because Jim and I were so tight, my close friends are really, really limited. And, I don't have a spouse. But I talk to God, and it just seems like he's just there. He's just present. And he's remained present with me.
So it's not like when your giving increased, all of a sudden you got a letter from Publishers Clearinghouse and got this big windfall or anything?
No, it went, I think it just, I don't know, maybe it went gradual, or maybe my faith got bigger. I don't know, but it just feels like my life got more together, and yeah.
So 10 months later, is that that's 8, 9 months, somewhere in there later. I bet Satan has been saying, "You still there? Are you really doing it
Temptation,
still?"
yeah. I haven't felt a lot of temptation. A little bit, but not like I thought I would. I'm not saying it's not there anymore. It's there in the process of I think about it and I think, wow, Kath. Wow. I mean, this sin was long-lived.
Yeah. I actually wasn't talking about the sin stuff. Has Satan worked on you to say you don't really need to give that much?
Oh, yeah. Especially when other things come up, it's like, okay, where do I cut, and it's not the place to cut yet. So, yeah, there's bigger expenses that come up, and it seems like all of a sudden you get hit with them really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, too many at one time, and it would be easy just to bring that one back, just for a month or so, just to catch up. But it's not one I've done yet. I don't even really think about. I mean, I think about it, but I don't think about it. It's just not. It's not on the table yet.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Appreciate your story, and it's just a cool thing to see how God's working in you.
Mm-hmm.
And
God's working in me, and
yeah,
He's going to continue. I think. I don't know what He has planned for me. Nobody knows, but it's a good thing. I feel good. And I've even had other people. Actually, just last week, I seen some people at the music festival I haven't seen probably for 6-9 months. And I was talking to a friend, Nate, and he's like, there's a difference in you, Kath. You have changed. He says, it's like you glow or you're happier in some way, you know? And I said, I feel happier. I feel better.
God's good.
Yeah, he is good. So, okay. Thank you.